Welcome to another edition of Healthy Davao Media Forum. This is a media forum held every last Monday of the month in partnership with the Philippine Information Agency, the Southern Philippine Medical Center, of course, SMCT Davao. We'd like to thank SMCT Davao for hosting again our weekly Kapehan, a special episode, Healthy Davao Media Forum. So our topic for this morning is cervical cancer awareness and safe motherhood. And our guest for this morning, coming all the way from SPMC, we have Dr. Maria Patricia Angelica Quinto, the volunteer consultant, Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, SPMC. She's joined by Dr. Katrina A. Abarcar, volunteer consultant, the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, SPMC. Okay, to start our our Healthy Davao Media Forum rolling, we'd like to get the opening statement. We start with Dr. Katrina.
Morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Katrina Barcar. I am an obstetrician gynecologist specializing in high-risk pregnancy. So today, ako ang naka-assign na the topic is on safe motherhood. So, ang pagbuntis is, of course, it is a normal na pagsabo, no? And it is beautiful, but also daghan kay sa mga risk ko or daghan sa risk, daghan sa complications which are preventable. Mapugnan siya with proper prenatal care, timely nga pag-adto sa inyong doctor, and also education sa ato ang mga pregnancy. So hopefully today, natay ma-impart knowledge sa ato ang mga atong audience, especially sa ato mga buntis. Thank you. Good morning. I am Dr. Patricia Nonsuling Quinto. I am also an obstetrician gynecologist specializing in gynecologic cancer, ang mga cancer sa kababaihan. So, very appropriately, May is also Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. No? So, the topic assigned to me today is cervical cancer awareness. No? So, usually one of the most common myths na marinig ko sa clinic is cervical cancer, once na-diagnose ka niyan, mamatay ka na for sure. No? So, I want to debunk that myth. So, for all of us here, and hopefully the audiences that we can reach, cervical cancer is not a death sentence. It's actually one of the cancers that is very preventable if we catch it at the right time. And then later on, we will learn how else we can prevent actually getting that cancer. So, I hope may matutunan tayong lahat about it. Thank you.
Okay, let's start with si Dr. Katrina, no? Because I think meron tayong na-prepare na presentation pero wala tayong but maybe you can explain ano yung kung safe motherhood natin na program sa SPM.
Well, basically, kung ngayon tawag safe motherhood, of course, we are focusing on the mother, no? We are focusing on the prenatal care, ang pagpapinatal check-up or ang pag-atiman nato sa buntis. Okay? So, in this way, nga atong giatiman ang buntis, we are also making sure na she will give birth to a healthy baby. Also, we want to include the family, I think the partners, and also the community by teaching, educating also them kung sa ang mga unsaon take care sa ato ang buntis and unsa mga warning signs, unsang dapat bantayan, na dapat tutukan na dayon. So basically, mo ni sa ang safe motherhood. We are taking care of the pregnant woman, but we are taking care also of the baby and the family as well as the community.
And Dr. Quinto, about kasi ngayon, di ba, cervical cancer awareness month. And tell us more about itong cervical cancer because para sa public, hindi sila masyado aware sa ganitong type of cancer.
Cervical cancer is actually ang number 2 leading cancer among Filipina women, no? Next only to breast cancer.
So unlike breast cancer, nadagay mga artista, mga faces on media who help promote it, and also partners in the private sector and companies who help power and who push for breast cancer awareness. So cervical cancer medyo nahuhuli. No? So with this establishment of Cervical Cancer Awareness Month every May, we want to catch up. No? So kasi most women do not know na maiwasan ang cervical cancer with, well, 3 simple steps. No? Proper screening, katong pagpapacheck up sa doktor para ma-check ang cervix. Number 2 is vaccination. Very few cancers ang naay vaccine available, and cervical cancer is one of them. And 3, if you catch it early enough, maganda ang survival rate. Sadly, at present po, very sad ang ating statistics because almost 8,000 women who will get cervical cancer in a year here in the Philippines, sa ngayon, kalahati will not get treatment, and that half sadly will die. No? And as mentioned ni Dr. Abarkar, when we take care of the mothers, we take care of the family. So when we lose these mothers to cervical cancer, something very preventable, these kids also will grow up without their ilaw sa tahanan. No? So sana makahabol tayo sa statistics sa mga first world countries.
Doc, 3,000 ba ang per year ang
8,000,
8,000?
ang around 7,800 to be exact will develop cervical cancer
for Philippines na siya?
for Filipinos. Yes.
That's a
And
high.
almost half of those will die if hindi sila magpapagamot. But for those who will seek treatment, maganda po ang magiging prognosis, especially if makatch natin siya ng maaga. So hopefully later we can touch on what is available here in Davao, and then saan may mga cancer center here and in the Philippines. No?
Okay. To Dr. Abarkar, yung kasi may mga high risk, no, mga pregnancy sa dito ba sa Davao sa SPMC, gaano ba prevalent ba ang yung mothers developing high risk pregnancy dito sa Davao, and ano yung mga contributing factors nito? Umi-increase ba yung mga cases na ganun?
In terms of high-risk pregnancy, we have a lot of, we have criteria, no, na what we say nga, kani high-risk na ni. So, ito man ang mga common na high-risk conditions. Ang buntis na high blood, diabetic, kanang buntis na prone na na history of fetal labor before, even ang age. No, age na 35 years old and above is already high risk. Okay? And also less than 17 years old. Teenage pregnancy also high risk. So, in terms naman of the patients that we get, especially in SPMC, we have a lot of patients kahit nasa high risk pregnancy lang. We have the general na low risk pregnant patients within a cater, but we are very happy na we have a section sa SPMC na nag-feature particularly sa high risk patients, and usually we get around in a day nga ang sa among outpatient lang sa high risk na 40 to 50 per day.
High
High
risk
risk na sila. Daghan yun hapon. Of course, lifestyle will also be contributory later on when you get pregnant. Ma-high risk na po siya.
Kasi yung i-contextualize kasi yung ibang doctors, sabi nila na yung lifestyle, no, I think maybe siguro yung sa work pressure or yung sa diet contributing to increasing nakaka-high blood, maski bata pa may high blood na and diabetes. Ito ba yung also na-notice niya na nag-contribute din sa because of these two factors?
Yes, lifestyle. Actually, obesity. Obesity in itself, before ka nagbuntis, bugat na ta, no? More, bugat na para sa height, if you're familiar with body mass index. Nalantay dapat nga kabugaton para sa ato ang kataason, okay? So, if mulampas sa ani na ating mga criteria cut off, pag mahimo na ng especially obese, and then when we get pregnant, high risk na. And ano man ta na obese? Well, dako nga factor ang lifestyle ha. Ano man, pindot-pindot lang man ta sa cellphone, order, o nanar, abot na tayo, wala dito nilihok, di ba? So, exercise, diet, very important. Especially for women na gusto din magbuntis, nagsan nga magbuntis, kailangan i-optimize din na ito atong lawat before ta magbuntis healthy yun ta because we want to provide a healthy environment sad para sa atong baby na mutupo.
Kasi yung last guest namin na healthy Davao, si Doc, I think yung family medicine, she espoused na physical activity noon, that people maski walking lang kasi mag-engage sila, mga maski sa desk job, sa office, 2 to 3, every hour may 2 to 3 minutes na magtayo sila, konting exercise. Ganun din.
Yes, agree. So, ang buntis, we allow, dili tanan buntis atong gina-allow og physical activity or exercise, no? Na ay mga buntis, for example, kaning prone na mag-bleeding or kaning twins, ang ilang baby dili gwapo ang growth or kanang mga high blood yun nga wala dili control ang blood pressure, medyo dili kay na mo gina-push to do physical exercise. But for the regular healthy buntis, we allow mga around 30 minutes na moderate intensity exercise per day. No, 5 times a week. Pwede na siya. Kanang moderate intensity, bisan maglakaw-lakaw lang, medyo hangakon gamay, o pwede na siya. Okay na, medyo siya good na effect sa atong lawas. Also, especially kaning mga diabetic patients, they are having difficulty with diet. So, we always also advise them na every after meals, do not sleep. Do not sit lang, kahulay. No. After eating, nakulakaw, kahit na inside the house lang or in your office, just to burn some of the calories na hindi down because that will also help lower the blood sugar level. So, physical exercise is really encouraged.
Pero hindi encourage mag-pickleball yung mga buntis.
Okay, medyo kaning pickleball, medyo delikado siya in the sense about it ma-injure ang buntis, no? But, for example, say, from contact sports, anyways, ang balance, especially pag dako na ang tiyan, but ma-injure na, so, the physical exercises na we advise sa atong buntis, as long as dili sila super fatigue, as long as dili risky for injury, we allow. Sa man ang mga exercises, pwede walking, pwede swimming, pwede low impact na aerobics, sa pa ba? Even ka ng hiking na stationary, allowed pa na siya. Mo nang usually. Ang running is also allowed, especially sa mga buntis na runners na before. We allow naman running, but of course, pag dako na ang sand, medyo delikado na sand, no? Especially sa balance. So, lesser na lang na mga intensity ang ato ang i-exercise.
Okay. We go to Doc Quinto, no? Sabi niyo po yung mga services ng SPMC and the other hospitals regarding sa cancer. Because cervical cancer is parang expensive siya na, lalong cancer na treatment and lalong may mga indigent na patients. Paano yun? Paano ba sila ano ba ang servisyo ng SPMC para sa ganon? Because may PhilHealth din tayo, kasali ba siya sa Z package?
Okay. So yung first to answer the question, yes, cervical cancer is one of the Z packages na available sa ating PhilHealth. What does the Z package mean? Ibig sabihin, from the first time na ma-diagnose kayo, sana wala sa atin, no? From the first time na ma-diagnose ang patient, ipasok siya sa criteria, which is about only until stage 3B. All the things na kailangan gawin sa kanya, all the CT scans, treatment, etc., will be covered by PhilHealth. And the Z package is available po sa SPMC. No, but even before umabot sa treatment, I think most of us do not know that itong vaccine is actually available sa LGU. Itong Gardasil 4, which is the earlier kind of vaccine, is actually free. It was offered to school-age women. Depende lang sa mga LGU, no? If natutukan talaga. Pero i-trickle down yan siya sa mga LGU for distribution and vaccination sa mga school-age children, both boys and girls from 9 years old to 15 years old. So that's free. As you mentioned po, sir, it can be expensive, especially if you go to the private hospitals. But buti na lang here in Davao, we have SPMC, which is available naman ma-cover sa LINAP, Cancer Assistance Fund, and other assistance programs.
Is SPMC, di ba may cancer institute or
Cancer.
is it complete na treatment na siya ng mga cervical cancer? Kasi dati either punta sa private hospital or punta sa Manila na to seek treatment is, ano po yung mga modern equipment na ginagamit natin na meron din sa FSC?
Facilities-wise, it is complete. We can do all the available modes of treatment: surgery, radiation, chemotherapy with radiation, and also high-dose chemo. Unfortunately, the system can get overwhelmed dahil datihan mo yung mga pasyente magpunta sa SPNC, no? Kahit hindi siya from region natin. So, from the north, from sometimes even from Visayas, pag-transfer sila dito. So, we're requesting and we're praying na mag-grant ang aming request for more radiotherapy machines so we can cater to the women na umaasa sa SPNC for their
Ilan po yung number na nagpa na treatment sa inyo?
in a day.
Yun, a day or average siguro month? Natin.
Ang backlog po namin can range between 3 weeks to 2 months. But the 2 months is already very crucial kasi pwede na po magkalat ang cancer nila. So that's more than 200 women waiting for it.
Okay. Questions from our friends from the media? May mga tanong? Marvin? Arman? Question? Ay, question.
Good morning po, doctors. Kay Dr. Pinto po. Sa mga breast cancer po, usually mga 40 years old women, hindi na required yung mag-mammogram, di ba po? So, sa cervical cancer po, na by age na need din nila magpa-check up po?
Thank you for that question. Sa local guidelines po natin, it is recommended to start cervical cancer screening by age 30. When we say screening, kahit wala'y nararamdaman, kahit regular ang mens, isa lang ang partner, magpa-screen. Paano magpa-screen? We have 3 different types. The most recommended is HPV DNA testing. Available din po ito sa SPNC. Also available in private hospitals. Similar siya sa COVID swab. Pinaswab lang sa baba, ipapadala sa molecular lab, malaman mo na agad if positive or negative ka. If positive for human papilloma virus, i-refer kayo agad sa specialist. If negative, after 5 years na po ang repeat testing. If really available or hindi kaya sa budget or malayo sa SPNC, we can do a pap smear. That's option 2. Pap smear, kaya gawin sa kahit anong clinic, kahit sinong ubigayni, pwede gumawa kahit family medicine. And the price is very accessible. No? The conventional pap smear can be as low as 150 pesos. And sa mga mamahaling hospital, sometimes 2,000, 3,000. Kung talagang hindi kaya, Doc, wala talaga kami extra budget. Ang mga barangay health workers natin, we train them in partnership with DOH. We train our barangay health workers to do visual inspection with acetic acid. Paano yon? Sobrang simple. Hihiga ang babae, tingnan ang cervix niya, lalapatan ng suka. Yung suka na yon will tell us if there are areas that are suspicious for cancer, and if positive sila, they will be referred right away to SPNC. Free po yan sa mga health center. So, hindi dapat issue na walang pondo or walang budget for screening. So, starting age 30. Thank you.
Doc, how sa population estimate nyo, ilan na po yung nagpapa-screening or kailangan pa ba na more information dissemination para yung population yung magkababayan na magpa-screening, pumunta sila sa mga barangay health center, mga clinics? Hindi pa na parang nag-screening, di ba parang magkuhan tayo na may screening campaign for...
Unfortunately, yung statistics dyan medyo unclear, no? Because skewed ang ating data ba. Sa mga city centers where they have health centers na accessible, trained na mga barangay health workers, mataas ang screening rate. But in the farther provinces, farther areas of Davao, kung man ang Davao, no? Occidental, Oriental, Del Norte, Del Sur, maraming hindi pa talaga nakakaabot sa mga health center na yun. Although equipped ang center, yung mga kababaihan, of course, kung hindi magpunta, hindi man natin sila makatch. So I would say a good 30-40% still do not avail of the services.
Lalo na sa mga bukid, no? Mga areas. Questions sa Mandy. Marvin.
Hello po, Doc. Good morning from Exacan Davao, Marvin Ivano. Just to clear lang po itong stigma nga, once mutungtong na og 30 years old ang babae, tinuod ba kay usual mo gani madunggan wan kung tunang kita dira and then wala pa nagkaanak, medyo prone sa kining delikado or masela ng ilahang pagbuntis. Oh, yes po. Oh, pag hindi pa nagbuntis or pag tungtong na nilag edad na 30 and above, medyo prone na. Just to clear the stigma para sa at least mahatagag hope pa nga di mapalaka ang ato ang mga kaigsoonang one.
Prone sila, you mean, is
Oh,
developing
medyo maselan ang ilang pagbuntis once.
Okay, so thank you, sir. Regarding the age, so I mentioned also earlier kay sir na natin cut off, tinuod, no? We do not want na nayo sa stigma nga, ulang na ka, ano ba? What? Tinuod. But this, para sa mga healthcare, in the healthcare side, no? High risk na yun ang 35 years old and above. Ano man high risk? Of course, magawas na sila ato mga medical conditions, hypertension, diabetes. Also, high risk po na for trisomies. Kung familiar ka with trisomies, like mga Down syndrome, no? At that age, high risk na po to have those disease. Okay? But, sa atong makita, especially private practice or even sa STM, daghan dito yung high risk pregnancies in terms of age. Okay ra yun. And as long as tama ang ilang pag-prenatal, regular sila mag-adto, actually, kani mga 35 years old and above, ang nag-perform yung examination sa baby, ultrasound examination, ang tawag na to, CAS or congenital anomaly scan. Because as I mentioned, high risk na po din sila nga magkaroon ng babies with congenital anomalies or inborn na mga abnormalities. And once nga makita na mo nga negative man ang congenital scan, normal naman ang baby, then we tell the mother na okay lang na to, but still continue ang regular na check-up, still continue ang monitoring, especially sa blood pressure, still kumpleto ng mga laboratories na request. Because usually these mothers, if once na ma-clear na mo, okay na si baby, okay na mga laboratory tests, they deliver to healthy babies naman po. And also, kaning age man yun nato, because especially sa karon nga time, no, medyo daghan naman yung mga career women or late bloomers, career women, o nasa sila to ang career. So, kaya, that would contribute na later na yun sila mag-go into otherhood. So, okay lang. As long as regular prenatal check-up at tutulong sa inyo ang doktor, paminaw o sa inyo pang advice, usually we would have good outcomes.
Doc, pila ba edad sa babae ang ideal, advisable nga magka-baby?
Ideal. Well, kung moingon tag ideal in the sense nga ang age din atong basehan, high risk po kasi pag teenage pregnancy. So, kung ang lawas sa babae, atong like ang health niya, no, we would say mga 19 to before less than 25 years old, magina siya ang okay nga time to get pregnant. Okay? But well, 19 still young. So, siguro 20 and above, Also, para mas wapo din ang follow-up. No? Kasi ang uban, kasi the younger one, should din sila pabalik-balikon for clinical check-up. Say, mabot na lang sa ER. Anak na. No? So, of course, aside from physically, we are okay now, we are healthy to get pregnant, mentally, kinanglan, hindi lang ni siya, okay lang akong lawas magbuntis, but also mentally, or psychologically, kailangan, we are also ready for the pregnancy because it's a responsibility. Once na mabuntis ka, hindi lang kaya, okay, nabuntis ako. No! You have to be responsible, make yourself healthy for your baby. So, kung may age, more on kung sa physically 19 to 34, hindi mo na siya high risk. But kung sa mentally, it would depend also on the age yet. Capable na siya to take care of herself and comply with the prenatal care.
Last na lang sa ako ang part, Doc. For the safe motherhood, okay lang ba kada tuig halos manganak or pila ba ang gap per year before mag-bear of baby?
Well, we usually we usually advise na kanila dili magsunod-sunod because of course ang body nimo mag-recover pa, of course mag-iman pa kasi mong anak. But we tell our patients na at least more than 1 year dili sa ka magbuntis. Especially kani mga nasesaryan no na CS, at least mga 18 months ang interval from delivery. Kaya para of course kung na-CS ka na scar sa atong matres, kailangan hindi siya mag-recover again before mag-pregnant ka sadya. Pero I think it would actually ang kaning spacing no would also depend on the mother, on the partner, kung sa ilang sabot, pero mas mayod na planado gyud siya.
Eh, Doc Kat, follow up na lang ko tong kuan ma'am, no? Pangunta na ni Marvin, ma'am, no, nga, about sa ideal na kaning pregnancy, ma'am. Pero naayo ba mga kuan ang bisag nasa tama nga edad, high risk gyapon sila sa kaning pagbuntis? Ano sa may mga other remedy ana, ma'am, no, nga murag kuan, murag kanang naay mga babae nga dili sila maglisod no cakes because karon lifestyle sa mga tao instant na, so that affects sa ilahang health na pwede po maging factor po sa paglisod sa ilahang pregnancy.
So, paano ma-prevent na dili ta ma-go into high risk, dili ta ma-classify as high risk na buntis. So, well, aside from the age, no, as I mentioned kanina, naay pa other nga mga criteria for us to say na high risk. Ito, hypertension, diabetes, or natin mga autoimmune diseases, at other medical conditions, obesity also. But naay mga condition nga dili gid nato mapugnan no nga bisan pag eating and everything na gyud gihapon. But for other conditions na kaya nato ma-prevent, it's more of healthy lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle. It's not a medical condition, it's not a existing na medical condition, make sure controlled ang condition na. Dili gani nga kanang nag-flare ka or tagas kitang blood pressure, wala tayo inom tambad, lang, and then mabuntis ka. Then, well, kung i-compare nimo ang buntis nga, ang hypertensive nga, taas ka uncontrolled blood pressure compared sa hypertensive na control ang blood pressure, and then they both go into pregnancy. Mas high risk yun yung kasugod pa lang, hindi nagwapo ang blood pressure control. Ano bitaw? So, if to begin with, wala tayong medical condition, just healthy lifestyle, but diet, physical exercise, and then if na tayo condition na medical conditions, as much as possible, controlled siya, o natin ginagawa matambal for it.
So, ma'am, curious na po ko ani nga kuan ma'am no kay bisan pa man og healthy lifestyle ma'am no panay mga pregnant women na mas pilion nila ang cesarean. O sabi mas better? Normal delivery or cesarean? As a medical professional po.
Sige. So, normal delivery, ideally, kung ang atong ang cesarean section ni do CS, kung naay indikasyon, hindi ta pwede magbutbo na ikaw CS ka. So, naay indikasyon to do the CS, natin mga criteria nga gina-follow. So, well, as much as possible, kung makaya, kung safely nato mapadeliver ang babae through normal delivery, okay gid unta because nga naman lesser ang blood loss, lesser ang chance of complications compared sa cesarean section na major surgery ba yan, no? For every procedure na ibuhato, na yun na kaakibat na complication. So, usually when we get the pregnant patient, kasugod pa lang, kung wala tayong makita ng indication to do CS, normal yun na delivery ang ato ang goal for them. Kung sa man ang mga indikasyon na sa mga conditions or situations na mag-CS ka. So, number one, kung dili cluster ang ulo sa bata. So, kasi sa later part of pregnancy, nagsuhi, okay, or nagbaba, definitely, ma-CS yun na, especially pag first time na pregnancies, ma-CS yun na. Isa pa ba, for example, na sila'y medical condition na dili kaya kung normal delivery. Let's say, na yung mga heart conditions na usually nagapag-clear ta ana sa cardiologist. Kung okay lang pa natin pa normal delivery, kay okay ni scheduled yun na siya na cesarean section. Or even those women nga, pag-admit nga ang initial plan is to do normal delivery. But in the course of the labor, let's say nag-stuck ang heartbeat sa baby, or hinay ang progress sa labor, nga wala siya nakapatok ang mga cut-offs na dapat in at least certain number of hours, ani na ang status sa imong labor. Pag ingon ana gani or arrest ang iyahang labor, mas CS gid pud gihapon sila. Even if at the outset, normal delivery unsa ang amo ang atong plano. Kumana siya. In terms naman sa mga babae na like gusto jud nila CS na lang ko dok, dili ko gusto mag-labor. O na sa imong kaso. Well, naay mga ina nga cases, but ay as much as possible, gina-counsel din na namo sa clinic na ano man gusto nimo ani ato ibanon sa ang reason, and then ato na i-counsel kay namo ko uban patients na ay ang ilahang mga beliefs ba. Kato di kay nakakita sa TikTok or mga social media. Sorry.
Okay lang, okay lang.
So anyway, we try our best to counsel. O pilit yun, naatay mga papeles kasi na kailangan ma-fulfill. Kasi mo, agi pa ng mga ethics,
Kay karon mo gud dok no, magdagan kay sila kuan ba no. Mo nakita na pa nako sa social media na nga mas better pa daw nga kay naman gud ay lahik daw nga kuan daw sa cesarean daw katong ginatawag nila nga bikini cut.
Yes.
Oo, nga mura na daw gihapon dili maklaro ang tahi, it's because nara daw sa bikini na ni. O to murag nag-ambot lang murag nag-trend na siya nga kuan. Oo, ako na kuan sa TikTok ata.
Well, ang bikini cut has always been there ever since. No? So, tuwagin na itong option ko. Ang bikini cut kasi, or ang pan and steel incision, up to the skin level lang kasi na siya, no? But when we do CS, pag mag-opera ta, daghan kasi nag-layers ang tiyan. Pag-abot na ito sa mattress, kung asa na dito ang baby, dahil na po na itong incision. It will depend sa condition sa patient. But usually, kanang transverse incision. But kung sa skin mo may makitaan sa pasyente, di ba? Wala problema kung incision mo is bikini ba or midline. Ang more important din is ang kasulot na incision sa mattress. In terms naman sa aesthetics, yes, ang patient can say na kung ma-CS ko do, pwede pa bikini. Magtabot mo sa inyong doktor. But that is not the, kung aesthetic lang magod ang ato ang reason, medyo, and then atong balancing on with the possible complications of a major surgery, na dili man unta kinahanglan, di ba? Ang kailangan nila i-educate ang patient. Mo ni mga risks na imuhang atubangon, no? Well, ang normal delivery wala may samad sa tiyan. Pwede man gani magbikini kung normal.
So, mga taong ka na. Anyways, Doc, panawagan na to sa mga especially karon magkasagaran na nasa Gen Z nga mga ilahan. Kasi panawagan na to sa ilahan, Doc, no, nga dili dapat himuong tawagan ni aesthetic lang ang pagpangan.
Is dili dapat himong aesthetic ang reason nga
Reason.
Well, ang ako lang yung gusto is dili lang ta mag-rely sa kanang mga superficial lang na mga information nga makita nato. No? For every decision na imuhang buhaton, you have to be sure na tama ang basihan. Hindi kay ingon mo akong silingan dok, ingon ani. Hindi man reliable atong silingan, di ba? So, you do your research. Gen Z, very accessible na kaayo ang information karon. So, just make sure na if you do your research before you decide on something, make sure nga ang imong research is also reliable. Hindi na tong lang kanang sahay mali-mali baya sa internet, baya tanan sa internet tama. So, that is also one of the point na gina-educate po na mga pasyente. Mo gyud na ingon sa social, ingon sa Facebook, ingon sa siningan, so we also debunk ang mga malit na mga information.
Okay, thank you, Doc. Kay Doc Pinto. Doc, cervical cancer karon no although medyo wide na ang ato ang information about ano, pero there are some gihapon na mga kababain, especially kababainhan na medyo alanganin, especially sa kaning vaccine hesitation with regards. Sa to ang panawagan sa ilahan, Doc, no? For them na ma-prevent ang maong sakit, no? Especially karong panahon na nga medyo wala takabalo nga kung sa may tabo sila, and then mo na dito matingal cervical cancer na di ay.
So, yung how to address yung kanilang hesitancy na magpabakuna. Tama po?
Yes po.
Okay, so we want to educate them na katong mga vaccine can potentially save their lives. No? Kasi if maiiwasan mo naman magkaroon ng virus na yun, bakit mo gusto i-risk na magkaroon ka? Yung ibang babae will say, loyal naman ako sa husband ko. Sure naman ako na wala siyang ibang partner. How do you know? Kasi baka naman ikaw nga, one partner lang. Pero ang husband mo naman, previously may partner. So, hindi talaga natin ma-predict kung ano ang ating chance na makuha ang virus. So, when we tell them that na the virus is easily passed, sexually transmitted, and the best way to prevent that is, alang naman dili siya mag-sex sa iyang asawa. Diba? So, the second best way, next to abstinence, is to get the vaccine. And then we tell them the benefits na katong reduction rate in getting the cancer is a 95-97% reduction rate of getting the cervical cancer. So, and then the cost analysis also. Ang vaccine will cost you say 8 to 12,000 per dose, 3 doses, versus the treatment of cervical cancer, which can run into 2.5 to 3 million in a private hospital. Kung ako, wais na misis, doon ako sa vaccine, no? Regarding complications, there has been no documented serious complication other than anaphylaxis or serious allergy. Pero that's why it's important to get your vaccine from a reputable clinic or doctor para ma-screen ang karong ang risk ninyo for developing allergy. Although that risk is very, very low, less than 1%.
Doc, sa sa SPMC, pila ba ang mga pasyente nga na-diagnose with cervical cancer na padayon na ginatreat?
Marami. Ang census namin per month would be in the hundreds per month. So in a year, that will easily cross 3,000 mark.
3,000 every year yan, Doc. Estimated every year.
SPMC alone. So napay ibang centers in Mindanao. No?
So sa SPMC, 3,000. So dako-dako din. Dako ba ni sa Doc?
Mataas pa. Higher siya than, I mean, it's a number na sadly masyadong mataas for our goal. No? Ang goal na in 2024, right after the COVID, the Philippines signed an agreement to end cervical cancer, hopefully in partnership with WHO. So ang goal na to is 7 out of 10 women will be vaccinated before the age of 15. 9 out of 10 women will be screened by the age 35, any modality, HPV, pap smear, VIH, and 7 out of 10 women will be treated. If naa sila talaga yung na-develop na cancer, they will have access. Sadly, malayo pa ta sa goal, although we're taking great strides and efforts to meet that.
Pero ang good thing ani Doc na is preventable siya through vaccine.
Vaccine and responsible sexual behavior. Kasi ang hindi usually ma-focus is ang cervical cancer, the virus that causes it, is transmitted through sexual contact. Whether girl to girl, boy to boy, girl to boy, any form of sexual contact. Oral, anal, genital, it's transmitted by skin-to-skin exposure. So, wala may condom, buong katawan is ma-cover, no? So, ang best prevention talaga is mutually exclusive sexual relations with just one partner. Mahirap man. Ang minsan, nakay mistake, nakay second chance, no? So, hindi mo malaman, kaya baka age 30, meron kang ma-meet, nakay pass, ito, nakay pass. So, the second way we can prevent that is by vaccinating ourselves. And especially ang mga bata. Kasi hindi pa natin alam, adventurous ang Filipino women now in a study is sexually active at the earliest by age 13, on average age 18. So ang goal natin, before they get sexually active, protektado sila ng bakuna.
So muna na itong 15 and above, ma'am. Dapat they are vaccinated.
9 to 15 actually.
9 to 15. Okay. So kanang 3,000, ma'am, is estimate lang na siya, ma'am. No, dili siya exact yun, ma'am.
Hindi siya exact. I will have to look at the exact data.
Pero taas gihapon ang 30,000 in SPMC alone. Wala pa ilabot ang ubang mga centers. Okay, thank you, Doc.
Doc, for awareness lang sa mga nagapaminaw, nagatanaw, unsa ang common symptoms, Doc? Makaingon ka nga na kay cervical cancer.
Okay. Early signs will be regular discharge na clear, watery, pero recurrent hindi siya nag-stop, no? So, for the women, alam naman natin na na period in our cycle, na white men's, may clear discharge, pero katong early signs of cervical cancer is copious o daghan ay discharge, wala, hindi necessarily mabaho. Pero sige kang agas ng discharge. Another one is irregular bleeding or spotting. So, dili man panahon ng mens mo, pero nakay bleeding. Bleeding after sexual contact. It doesn't have to be heavy bleeding. Sometimes spotting lang, at may mga tulog-tulog sa panty or sa toilet, or painful sexual contact. And then, unfortunately, the later signs, na yun lang usually ang time na nag-check up ng babae, is severe pain sa puson, sa likod, tapos minsan nag-affect na sa kanilang paglakad kasi naipit na ang mga ugat.
If naabot na sa ingon ana, Doc, asa sila first mo adto? Pwede ba sila directly mo adto sa SPMC? Is it free or saan paagi po?
Yes, in our OPD po, outpatient department, pwede sila mo adto sa outpatient or palista sila sa OB department. Kahit may biopsy, walang biopsy, pwede po doon. And then they will be directed, if may biopsy, they will be directed to the cancer clinic. If wala pa biopsy and need pa ng further workup, i-biopsy sila doon. Or ultrasound, biopsy, lahat tanan ang kailangan gawin, doon na gawin sa OPD.
Doc, clarify ko lang, kanang vaccines, Doc, ginahatag nato na for free.
Okay. In SPMC po, hindi siya available for free. But the LGU is the one who has the stock of vaccines. Parang kapag COVID vaccine before, di ba? So we have 3 types available in the market. Cervarix, which covers 2 strains. Pero gi-phase out na yan siya kasi daghan na yung newer kinds of vaccine. Gardasil 4, which covers for low risk o mga wards and high risk HPV. Yan ang available sa LGU. It's swerte kayo and maayos sa LGU nyo, you can request for that. Usually, they have it along with school vaccination. Katong Gardasil 9, which is the newest and the one with the most coverage for HPV, is available in most hospitals and most clinics na OB-GYN, pediatrician, infectious disease. So, that will range. Sa akong research, may mga 7.5, it can range to as high as 12,000 per dose. For women between age 9 to 14, 2 doses lang kinahanglan. 15 above, 3 doses. Pero dili yan sa sabay-sabay, no? So, sa karon, after 2 months ang next, then after 6 months ang next.
Thank you. Kay Doc Abarcar. Doc, unsa ka, i-reiterate lang ako, Doc. I know this is very common, pero still, no, daghan gihapon kayo mga dilikanan na need ma-educate ani. Unsa ba ka-importante po yung first 1,000 days para sa bata?
Okay. So, ang first 1,000 days of life, very important siya. Well, dili mag-reflect. It will reflect ang maayos na prenatal care, no? So, kung kung okay ang pagbuntis sa mother, maayo ang pag-check up sa iyaha, and will give birth to a baby nga healthy, kaning first 1,000 days of also breastfeeding, no? It will reflect ang feeding po sa ato ang mga newborns. So, basically, kung unsa ka healthy during pregnancy, it will have an effect on the first 1,000 days of life sa imong baby. Also, ang proper ang feeding, no? We advocate breastfeeding also.
Okay, kay Doc, sorry, for the benefit lang, no, for the record and clarification to Doc, so I don't know if, kung speaking of data, no, I would like to ask kung sa average age, kumbaga, kung ma-detect o cervical cancer, o unsang age na pinakabata, to be specific po.
Scientific data on average will tell you that cervical cancer peaks around 40s, no? But in the Philippines, particularly in SPNC, I've seen it in women as young as 26 years old. Why is that important? Because it takes 10 years for that virus to become a cancer, on average. So from the time of first sexual contact to the time it becomes a cancer, usually it's 10 to 15 years. Unfortunately, pabata na ng pabata ang sexual debut ng mga youth natin. So we also see cervical cancer earlier.
So technically,
early signs, early detection is necessary po for those female na basin simba po, nasa nila po, madetect ang cervical cancer po. No?
Yes, very important. So as we said, the guidelines will say start screening by age 30. But if high-risk behavior with ang bata, no, you have the discretion as the doctor, pwede ka mag-start screening earlier if you think ang babae has high-risk behavior. You can individualize. May guidelines pa na ang 30. Wala man mag-fault sa'yo if you screen. Like katong patient na 25, if you waited for age 30, hindi na siya mag-abot sa age 30.
To Doc,
Po, good morning. Cyrus Nicolas, an intern from PTV po. So, my first question should be for Dr. Quinto po, no? So, you pointed out po kanina na one of the challenges na gina-face sa SPMC is because ma-overwhelm sometimes ang machines because daghan og nag-add to nga patients. But, recently lang, nag-release ang statement nga SPMC nga indiscriminate sa uban nga lugar po kung naibani ng mga pasyente. So, unsa ang mechanism or unsa ang troubleshooting sa SPMC if ever ma-overwhelm ang inyong machines para maka-cater mo continuously o more patients, and unsa ba ang capacity, Doc, bago ma-overwhelm ang kaning machines in a day po? Unsa kadaghan yung kaya ma-cater po?
When you say machine, that's actually the radiotherapy machine, no? So, I apologize, I don't have the exact number with regard to that. But for the Cancer Institute, yung sa amin lang na slots, kaya dagan may cancer field, no? Meron sa dugo, meron sa gynae, meron sa adult. We only have 5 slots for chemotherapy na outpatient in a day. And that's very, very insufficient given the volume of women waiting. Katong sa machine, if you allow me, I can ask kung ano yung aming specific na nakikater in a day po.
So, 5 slots a day lang po.
For outpatient.
Okay po, thank you. Tapos, ano din po, you mentioned din kanina po na ay partnership with WHO po, ano? Unsa po specifically na services ilang gina-support po sa SPMC or kung unsa ba nga mga clinics sa Philippines po? Unsa ilang specific na gina-support? Like, advocacies lang po ba niya or na-adjust sila like tangible na services na ginatabang?
So, yung partnership with WHO was actually empowering the local health workers, barangay health workers natin to screen. Kasi before, pap smear ang main natin na screening method. Pero ang weakness is kulang man ang doktor na nag-pap smear, kulang ang pathologist na nagabasa sa pap smear. So, naka sa mga center sa Davao Occidental, ipadala pa sa Davao City. So, months before magdalik ang result. So now, in partnership with WHO, we train ang mga BHW para at the grassroots level, they can detect, even without a doctor, they can detect if na suspicious area, i-refer, or pag may access sila, we actually have a see and treat protocol. No? So, distributan sila ng parang handheld machine na it's suspicious and it looks like a precancerous lesion. Some are actually trained to do ablation to them.
Lastly po, Doc, since the cause of cervical cancer is HPV, so when you have patients po na like mga babae na mga positive sa cervical cancer, do you also encourage their husbands or their sexual partners to get the treatment for HPV? Or unsa pa nga itong ginahatag na support sa ilang spouses since sila man ang possible na maging source for this?
So, that's a good question. But when we get, as an example, may patient ka na may cervical cancer, tapos ang spouse niya will ask if may benefit ba na mag-vaccine ako. We cannot pinpoint for sure na siya ang cause. Because if siya lang ang partner, then siguro siya. But if na previous, it's possible that the previous partners may have been the cause. No? Yes, there is benefit, but ideally, wala na siya ibang maging partner na mapasahan ng virus. No? So just as a trivia, for example, you know Evita Peron sa Argentina? First lady siya ng Argentina. Katong movie good na Evita. No? So, she died from cervical cancer. Second wife siya ng presidente ng Argentina. The first wife of the president also died from cervical cancer. So, kumbaga, if we deduce so alam mo na sino ang salary, no? So, yes, there is benefit to treat also the husband. It's a budget allows.
Thank you po. And for Dr. Abarcar po, this question po, you mentioned kanina na in a day you encounter or cater 40 to 50 high-risk pregnant women po. So are these 40 to 50 women po, delivery na po ba or sometimes na like concerns na dili pa delivery na jud siya doc in a day po?
Dili na sila delivery. Ano mga prenatal check-ups lang on a daily basis sa among high-risk pregnancy unit. But for the low-risk pregnancy, katong walay mga conditions, usually nasa mga 300 per,
Ang low risk
300
po.
per day.
Ang mga low risk
Ang
po.
low risk. But for
Okay.
the high risk, mga around 40 to 50 na siya. Prenatal check-up, kahit po ang delivery. So, we follow them up until mga anak sila.
Okay po. And then during on that prenatal check-ups po, if maklasify na if ever ang babae na high risk siya, unsa ang ginahatag po sa SPMC na tabang sa ilaha to support their pregnancy since high risk na po sila?
So, magsugod ang buntis, magsugod na sila o triage, no? And then sa triage, pag nakita na high risk, or pag na-check up na and then nakita sa doctor dito nga high risk man ka ma'am. So, refer na sila sa high risk clinic. Now, when they go to the high risk clinic, our protocol usually, no, is to do the prenatal checkup as well as do the ultrasound to monitor ang fetal growth and any problems na ilang i-no sa doctor. In terms naman sa health, I think ano man ang ilang ang ilang binabayaran for the checkup and ultrasound, ma-cover na lang siya.
Thank you po. I'm sorry po, I have another question po. Wala ka for Dr. Quinto last na po. Yung statistics po kanina na in a year, there will be 7,800 women specifically na maging positive for cervical cancer in the Philippines. So, in the current projection po, as of May 2026, is this the same number of expectation for this year po? Or nagalesa na ba siya so far, Doc? Or maging same pa din po ba siya this year sa projection?
Don't have the interim data yet kasi it's collated usually annually. But in the last cervical cancer screening nationwide, maganda yung coverage. No? So, more than 2,000 women were screened simultaneously, almost 200 institutions. So, if we keep up that trend, that ma-increase na awareness from Luzon to Mindanao, hopefully, ma-reach natin ang target ng reduction.
Or as of the first quarter, dagan-dagan nag-screen po.
Second quarter na kasi karon. So, second quarter.
Second quarter.
na kasi.
Thank you, Doc. Yun lang po. Thank you so much.
So, Doc Quinto, kasi yung sabi mo yung 5 slots lang, do you have in the pipeline na magdagdag yung mga machines or kailangan pa ng bagong budget?
So, just to clarify, the 5 slots is for chemotherapy. Yung sa radiotherapy side, hindi ko kasi kami may hawak ng slots nyo. There are hopes of increasing the slots, pero depende din po yun sa administration ng Cancer Institute. If mabibigyan kami ng additional, that maybe mag-increase ng manpower also to service our patients, then hopefully makadagdag.
Okay, since time's run out, we'd like to thank our guests, Dr. Abarcar, Dr. Quinto, for sharing your time with us for Healthy Davao Media Forum. I'd like to get siguro parting statement, remind din natin yung ating audience, viewers, sa ating mga dapat na reminders natin sa kanila. Start with Dr. Abarcar.
Well, on my part, I just want to remind na sa atong mga kababaihan, ano sa man dapat magsugod ang prenatal check-up. It should start as soon as you know na pregnant ka na or ideally in the first trimester. Para kung na mga problema nga, makitaan tayo, no? Kung na mga complications na posible ma-encounter, makita tayo sa sugod pa lang. Hindi ka mag-prenatal na dako na yan, no? So, ibig sabihin, once na you have your missed menses and then you are sexually active, you're having unprotected sexual intercourse, pwede yun ka buntis. So, do your pregnancy test and if positive, go to your friendly OB-GYN. Thank you.
Siguro, parting message, again, cervical cancer is not a death sentence. It can be cured, most importantly, and can be prevented. So be informed, get screened, and be vaccinated. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much to SMCG Davao for hosting our Healthy Davao Media Forum and to Krispy Kreme for their delicious donuts and coffee. This has been Ruda Balamat. Till next week, more relevant topics. Thank you.